What's going on, beautiful people? Jesse Moon here, and I have my business partner,
Marcus, Sarah, what's happening, ladies and
and
gentlemen?
we're hailing to you from Frisco, Texas. And tonight we're going to bring a little bit of fire and ice to you with the financial strategist and estate planning specialist, guys. We know it's late, but it's never too late to get started, guys. And I want to tell you, as we're moving through 2024, is flashing before our eyes. Mark, can you believe it's already February
I can't,
16th?
man. We're almost in quarter 3, man. It's crazy how fast time is flying. It's like it was just Christmas yesterday.
Right. Is I mean, we're a month and a half into the new year, and I'm curious how people have been dealing with their New Year's resolutions. You know,
Mhm.
the goals that they said they wanted to accomplish this year. Have they given up on them, or are they going to actually fight for them for the entire year and not just a couple days?
Resolutions. I was never
What's your
one to.
thoughts on that?
I was never one to believe in resolutions, to be honest with you, because resolutions is like one of those things. You can commit to a resolution only for so long, right? You do you.
Mm,
I want to go to the gym. I want to budget. I want to do this. I want to do that. And it lasts about 2, 3 weeks, maybe a month, and then you're back to same old, same old. See, resolutions can be quit. You can quit resolutions anytime, right? But
I
when you
agree.
make a commitment to something, when you make a standard in your life not to change or to change in a different direction, that's a whole different story. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it reminds me of people that go on these weight loss journeys and they start a diet and they take away everything that they enjoy. And then that's why I'm a firm believer diets don't work. It has to be a lifestyle change, a gradual lifestyle change, because they're depriving themselves of everything that they enjoyed before. And a week goes by, 2 weeks goes by, and they go and gorge themselves.
Yeah.
And I'm not a believer in cheat meals or cheat days because you're going to cheat with the things that you're trying to break free of. It's the weirdest
No
thing.
cheat days,
Uh,
man. No Sunday cheat days.
well, cheating. All right. If I'm trying to wean myself off of Dr. Pepper, and then I say, "Oh, I'm going to have a cheat day," and then I go and drink a
I
12
got
pack of
you. Yeah, yeah,
Dr. Pepper,
yeah.
like it kind of defeats the whole purpose, right?
Makes sense. Makes sense.
So, what I'm going to stack up on enough caffeine to last me another week. Like, it's
Yeah,
tough.
yeah,
But it's the same way with finances as well. People they say, "Hey, we got to get a budget. We got to do something different. We're tired of living paycheck to paycheck." So they'll go and meet with some specialists or let's say a financial therapist, get pointed in the right direction. But they have these bad fiscal habits already
yeah.
and a budget here, a budget there, the Dave Ramsey style where they're living out of envelopes and they're like,
Sure.
this isn't working for me. And they go back to their old habits.
Yeah.
And 20 years passes by and they're like, why are we still broke? Like we feel like we're spinning our tires in the mud. It's because you didn't change. And Jim Rohn says it best: if you want things to change, you must first change.
Yeah.
Don't let your circumstances change your responsibility in life. So
Yes,
it's
man.
it's tough.
It was about 40 years of my life, probably not 40, maybe 30, 35 years of my life. I did the same thing over and over and over and over
Mm,
again, always hoping for a different result, but never ever getting to that result, right? And it wasn't until the last probably 4 or 5 years that I feel like finally I'm alive. Like I've got to make these decisions. I've changed the direction of the rest of my life. And it was because of some hard decisions I make, some hard decisions to move places and to cut certain people off and to bring other people in our lives. And that
yeah.
has allowed me to gain so much lost ground. And I think for some people, you're spinning that rat race, you're spinning that wheel, right? You're in that wheel doing the same thing over and over. You wake up, you go to work, you come home, you kiss the kids goodnight, you go to sleep, you wake up, and it's just this repeating cycle and nothing
Over
changes.
and over again.
And nothing ever changes unless you start changing. Nothing
Mm,
changes unless you change something in your life. Finances right now is a big pain point for a lot of people. A lot of people are in a mess right now. They can't save $300 a month. 500 bucks a month is a struggle for some people, and it shouldn't be that way. But daily on our posts, we put posts up, telling about clients that we've helped serve and people who want to put away for their kids. And a lot of
yep.
those comments are, I could barely afford gas, let alone $300 a month. I could barely afford groceries, right? And it breaks my heart. Um, and we can take this conversation in so many different ways. We can talk about extra income producing opportunities, right? But we can also talk about wealth accumulation and different strategies that we offer our clients as well. But what are some of the things that you're seeing on Facebook lately from some of the posts that you're posting?
Well, as this is a twofold answer. On one side of the spectrum, I'm seeing a lot of people that are curious.
Yeah,
I'm a firm believer that people want to change, people want to do better. They're not going to be able to do better unless they know better, and they don't know what questions to ask, and they don't know where to go and get the answers. And that's
yeah,
why people like you and I, we're doing everything we can to deliver value. But that value is getting watered down because so many people are just regurgitating information and spreading false information or misinformation.
yeah.
And when they come to us and we're actually authentic and actually bring in proper value,
Sure.
they're looking at that as the same as they view somebody else
Right.
who's not serious, who's just throwing information spaghetti on the
Or
wall.
or
Hoping somebody.
maybe somebody who's trying to take advantage of somebody else, right?
Correct.
Let's
Yep.
got those fake gurus out there,
Yep.
the scammers trying to get people to do stuff that's not beneficial for them, that's going to end up hurting them in the long run. Yeah, I agree. I agree. There's a difference. There's definitely a
So
difference.
so that's one side I see is people who are really serious about it. The second type of people that I see, they're just information gatherers. I got people that comment on my posts. They've been commenting on my posts for 3 years, and they still haven't done anything.
I got the
It's
same.
like, "Hey, I sent you that video 3 years ago. Did you watch it yet?" They're like,
Yeah.
"No, I hadn't got around to it." I'm like, "Bro, go somewhere else, man."
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Some of the same people ask for info after info after info, and
Yeah,
you check the messages, you send them the info, but then they ghost you. They don't do anything about it. That could
yeah.
be analysis paralysis. That could be just them not sure about their decision that they want to make. But I'll tell you, the easiest way to make a good educated decision is to sit with an educator, sit with somebody that knows what they're talking about. So at least you can get the answers you're looking for, rather than just
100%.
living in the mystery and not getting the answers, you know what I mean?
And the way I see it is I look at ourselves as kinda like the financial surgeons, okay? So or the financial doctors. If you're sick, you have a call for something, you're gonna go to the doctor. You might Google it before you go to the doctor and try to diagnose it yourself, but you're not gonna try to heal yourself, right?
Yeah,
And if you Google it, just to let you know, you're probably Google is probably gonna say you're dying, right? So
for
so
sure.
don't Google it. Just go to your local family practice, a practitioner, and let them diagnose you, and then the doctor is going to write you a prescription. So when your finances are broke, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
You go to a financial strategist, a financial specialist. They're going to sit down with you. They're going to find out the money coming in, the money going out, and they're going to diagnose what your problem is, and then they're going to help pave a way, create a formula for you that if you implement it, it's going to get you to the financial freedom that you're looking for.
Mhm.
But the
Mhm.
problem is people are scared to actually put money away
Yeah.
because it's going to take away from their current lifestyle. They're not understanding it's an investment into their future. Okay, meaning the time that they're going to be spending. Okay,
Yeah.
the money that they're going to be putting away. Instead of spending $300 eating out per month, put $300 towards your financial future. Let that compound so you can eat whatever you want 10, 15 years from now.
Delayed
So
gratification is
delayed
harmful.
gratification.
And that's something that I had to learn too, later in life. Delayed gratification is it's better to put away for something you really, really want versus spending it on something that you don't necessarily really want, but you just think you need it, right? I'd rather put money now that I'm in my 40s. I hate to say it. I'm in my 40s now. I understand the value of putting away for my future because when I was in my 20s, I used to spend, 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 spend. In my 30s, I'd spend, 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 and I didn't think about the future. And so, when we're educating younger people, we're trying to teach them and instill these principles of invest now, save now, contribute now for your future self 20, 30 years from now.
Yep.
And that's a struggle for a lot of people because they want the instant, they want that now. I want to get rich quick. I want this money to grow in a year. You know what I mean? And that's
1000%.
not the way that wealth is built. Wealth is built slow and steady. Really is.
Well,
You know?
Warren Buffett says, "You think I became a billionaire overnight? It took me 50 years."
That's
So
right.
slow and steady
Yeah.
is how we got there. So I'm going to ask you guys real quick. If you're just logging in, we're just talking about finances, guys. We're talking about how to outpace inflation, how to reduce the taxes, and how to become financially free in the next 10 years or less, guys. If you're just tuning in, go ahead and let us know in the comments where you're watching us from, what city, what state. We want to see how many states that we can get on here tonight. Now, this is the first the first live. We used to do this almost every single night, Mark, about 2 years ago,
Yeah.
and
We
we're
did.
about to bring it back. And
Oh,
we're going to have some other people. We're going to bring on some other experts to bring on to answer some questions. We just want to bring total all out value to you guys and help you change your life. But go ahead and let me know what city and state you're logging in from. And if you're not following either one of us, go ahead and smash that follow sign, whatever platform you're watching from, whether it be if it's YouTube, subscribe. If it's Facebook, go ahead and follow. And Mark, what would you say is the best route? Because we message a lot of people. A lot of people comment on our stuff, but they don't see our messages that we send to them. What type of guidance would you give that person to make sure that they're getting our information that we're actually sending them?
yeah, yeah. That's actually a good question because a lot of our posts end up going viral, right? You got 100,000 followers on your personal Facebook page. I have 900,000 followers on my personal Facebook page. They weren't bought, they weren't paid for, they were all organic, and it's just because we've given value over the last couple of years. One of the biggest problem is when I'll put a post out there, I'll get 200-300 comments. I'll go ahead and try to individually message each one of those people, but I can't
Hmm.
put I can't put certain information on a public forum like that. It's better to have a private conversation to get educated on a one-on-one type basis. So the problem is when we go to their profile and we click send message, we send a message to them, it immediately goes into the spam folder because of Facebook's privacy protection. Anybody that you're not friends with typically goes straight to the spam box. So we're sending 100 messages a day, literally. Jesse, how many messages a day would you say you send?
Minimum 100.
100 messages a day minimum.
It's the problem. Facebook cuts us off at 50. LinkedIn
Right.
cuts us off at 25. And the only time that Facebook will allow you to send more is if you've had an interaction before with them
Correct.
in the past.
So we're sending 50 to 100 messages a day. It's 100 at 100 are landing in spam, and only a small 1 to 2% actually know how to check their spam. So we're only getting 3, 4, 5 people checking their messages and responding back to us. So it's a lot of effort in that, right? So we're in the process of building a system that's going to actually help alleviate a lot of that for a lot of people in the industry and outside of our industry as well, where it will automatically capture the information and connect with that person on your behalf, and it'll bypass the spam folder. But that takes work and it takes money, and it's a progress that's going to take place. But that's a big hurdle for us right now. I think the fastest way to get a hold of us is to DM us directly, whether it's on Instagram, YouTube, or Facebook. Get on one of our platforms and literally send us a message. Hey, I want to know about this. Because if you just comment and just ask questions, we may miss that. We may not be able to get back to you in time.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of poachers out there. What have you seen with other companies when you post something valuable and you have 50 to 100 comments? Do you ever see people going on there trying to garner business and
All
trying
the
to poach
time,
people? It's the craziest thing, you
bro.
know?
It's so what happens is we just had this discussion with our team the other day is about following up with people.
Mm,
And one thing I noticed is that people don't have delayed gratification and they want it now. So let's say we have 300 comments on a post.
yeah,
Well, obviously, it's going to take some time for us to respond to 300 comments or engage with them or even call them if 200 people put their name and number on a form that we get. It may take some time for us to give them a call.
right.
But what happens is we don't call them within 24 to 48 hours. The next thing you know, some lower level self-proclaimed guru calls them and gets an IUL, and then they're pissed off because it's improperly structured.
Correct.
I can't. You know, the craziest thing, and I'm going to create a reel soon, is somebody the other day told me, he said, Jesse, I've been watching your videos for almost a year and you've inspired me to get an IUL. But I went with somebody else and they messed
Unbelievable.
up my IUL. I'm like,
Unbelievable. I've
what
gotten
do you
that
want me
so
to do about it?
can you fix it? Right. I've had a couple clients come to me say, I've been watching your videos. I got an IUL with somebody else. They screwed me. Can you fix it? I'm sorry, I can't fix it. You
Yeah,
got to go back to the agent that you first started that with. Or if you cancel that policy, you're going to lose a lot of money. Right.
yeah.
I've had one guy say, yeah, I've been following your post. I didn't hear back from you in time. My fault. Right. So I went with another company and I'm putting $100,000 in upfront, big policy, and I'm doing $10,000 per year. But I asked him, send me over the illustration. Let me check it out real quick. When we looked at the illustration was padded with target, which means
I
higher death
remember that.
benefits, lower cash value. Remember we checked that out? When I went back to the guy, I was like, hey, buddy, I'm okay if you go with somebody else. I can't stop you, but I just want to let you know about this. This is improperly structured. You got high death benefits, low cash accumulation. The policy is going to end up lapsing, in 10 to 20 years. And he's like, oh, but it's a good friend of mine. I would feel bad if I canceled it. I said, that's not a problem, bud. You can do what you want to do. I'm just letting you know I could have structured this a lot better for you, more in your, kind of in your advantage, and it's sad that happens sometimes, but it happens.
Yeah, one thing I'll say, Mark, is and it's the sad reality that we have 360 million people in the population. We have less than 104,000 active licensed life insurance agents.
Yeah,
And about 90% of those agents have no clue how to properly structure, engineer, and design an either infinite banking um, policy
sure.
or a properly structured IUL policy. So they're going to these people that they may offer the product, but it doesn't mean that they're a specialist in the product.
Right.
And that's what's pissing me off is all of this misinformation people are getting and they're getting taken advantage of. And it's like, man, I wanted to help you. That's why we're giving free value. Like the value we give in a one-on-one meeting, even our free wealth workshops, like that's thousands of dollars worth that a financial advisor would charge you, and they would only tell you what they're taught. Financial advisors only teach what they're taught, and
Correct.
it's not what's best for the clients.
Right. Right.
What's best for their
I
pockets.
I've had a lot of financial advisors come to me and tell me, what you're doing is a disservice to your clients because you can't offer them securities. You can't offer them IRAs, 401ks. And I just politely say to them, I don't believe it's a disservice. I believe, I'm doing what I believe is the fiduciary responsibility to show them where they can put their money without losing it in the market, right? That's
Sure.
where I feel I'm a fiduciary because I'm actually showing them an alternative, a way to protect and preserve and grow your money at the same time without ever risking it in the market, right?
Yep.
And then I throw a little jab back to them. I said, maybe you should get your life insurance license so you could do the same thing. Because a lot of these financial advisor guys, they're not licensed to be a producer, and
Nope.
so they're only selling the products that they're told. Here's the highest comp. Here's what you need to do. Here, the company
Correct.
needs to see this many, applications, and they're trying to push that type of stuff. And listen, I don't want to throw shade at financial advisors. I got a couple friends that are advisors, but some of the guys out there are just not out for the client's best interest. They're out for their own best interest. You know what I mean?
Sure. And I'm in agreement with you. It's they're peddling stocks and mutual funds and universal life insurance if they do sell life
Or
insurance. And
variable
yeah, yeah,
universe.
very variable life insurance.
Yeah.
Because it's still in the
Worse.
market and it's classified as assets under management, and
Yeah,
they still get a percentage of the client's money. But there are some good guys out there, just like in anything. There's good and there's bad apples, right?
absolutely.
So you just got to be careful. Ask a lot of questions, some qualifying questions. Qualify them if they're going to you're going to do business with them.
Mhm,
Um, one thing I'll say is a financial advisor can do some things that a life insurance agent can't do, and a
mhm.
life insurance agent can do some things that a financial advisor can't
Absolutely.
do.
I agree.
So for example, the primary role and responsibility of a financial advisor is to grow your money with the market.
Sure.
The issue I see there is that when the market drops, there's no defensive measures in place to protect your money. So it goes up,
And
you
you can't
profit,
time the market. Nobody can
and you
time
can't
the
time it,
market, right?
right?
You can try to hedge against it by putting certain type of, there's stop loss and stuff like that, but who really does that unless
So,
you're
so
day
this is
trading?
this is the retirement plan in America.
Yeah.
We put our money in a 401k plan that's in the market. We cross our fingers, get on our knees, hope, wish, and pray we have enough money when it goes to retire. And let's hope that we don't retire when the market drops 50%, like it did in 2008,
It's
like it did in
always like
2020.
this. It's always
Yeah,
like this.
and your retirement should not be an emotional roller coaster, guys. Like your retirement should be solid.
Yeah.
And that's why we leverage life insurance as a financial tool to protect your money, to preserve your money, and to grow your money at the same time.
Yeah.
So
I have
you get go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish your thought.
So you get the upside in the market without ever having to worry about the downside
Yeah.
risk.
Yeah. I was gonna say I have one client that has, about 800,000 in the market, and they said to me, "I'm just tired of the emotional drainage that happens to us when we see 30, $40,000 fluctuations,
Yeah,
50,000, 100,000
it's
fluctuations." She
crazy.
said, I don't wanna deal with that anymore. I'm almost 60 years old. I don't wanna see that." So I showed her a product, one of the products that we offer. It's a fixed indexed annuity, has a 0% floor, and it has the potential to earn just as good as the market does. And I showed her some of the strategies that we use for some of our clients, and she said, "I love it." She said, what's the downfall? What's the con? Everybody wants to know the cons, right? We show them all the good. What's the cons? Well, the con is, there could be a surrender period. It could take 7 to 10 years for your money to stay in that account, and if you were to try to take it out any earlier, you get a penalty for that. I said, other than that, there's really not too many cons. There's no fees, right? They work off of spreads. They don't work off of fees. So there's no fees in her policy. I said, it's really a win-win for you. You're saving, you're protecting, you're compounding and growing your money at the same time. She's like, "Why haven't I ever heard of this?" I said, because most financial
Mhm.
advisors don't sell this, or they don't offer
That's
it, or
right.
they don't want to offer it. So we ended up rolling a portion of that 800,000. She didn't want to lock up all of it. So we rolled over almost half of it. She's, she's sleeping peacefully at night knowing that at least half of her retirement is not going to die in the blink of an eye if the market were to crash tomorrow. She knows that she has a backup plan. A great guy, Tom Hegna, retirement specialist, been in the industry for 40 years. He says if you don't have a fixed index annuity or some type of fixed annuity, you're missing the boat. Your portfolio will not perform the way that it's supposed to if you had all your ducks in a row. He said by having that fixed type of asset, you're actually able to hedge against the fluctuations of the market and to continue earning money even when the market's down. He said everybody should have an annuity in their portfolio.
Mhm.
Maybe not
Yep.
all of it in an annuity, but you should definitely have a portion of your portfolio in an annuity without a doubt. And that's one of the things that we specialize in. I'm proud to say that we do.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you. Annuity is the only product that can give you guaranteed income for life. The gains are locked in, so when the market rises, you profit. When the market loses, you don't lose a penny.
All right.
It's zero fees unless you want to add an additional rider to it.
Correct.
If it makes sense, it makes sense,
Yep.
but you don't have to. So to take that old 401k, that old retirement plan, IRA, thrift savings plan, 457, when you change jobs or when you retire, it doesn't cost you a penny to transfer it or roll it into an indexed annuity.
Mhm.
Now, there's no penalties, there's no fees that you have to pay. It's just a little bit of time, about 5-10 minutes to get the application completed. And it gives them guaranteed income for life. And why I love that, Mark, is when your money's in the market and you're retired, let's say you're taking out $30,000 per year from your 401k.
Mhm.
Well, that money's still in the market. So when the market drops, you lose. Not only are you losing principal when the market drops, but now you got to take out your $30,000 retirement income. So now you're
Right.
exhausting it even more
Yeah.
and you're not giving it time to rebound. So people are running out of money too soon, becoming dependent on Social Security and the government for other payments and bailouts and disability. And it's just sickening because I believe in people, Mark, and I believe
Yeah,
that we were all born to win and succeed, and we just need to have the right people in our lives teaching us, coaching us, and showing us the way.
sure. I agree. I agree.
Mm.
Mentorship is a hack. I always say it. Mentorship's a hack, man. It's a hack.
Yeah, and I said with a couple the other night, and maybe they're watching this. If you're watching this, feel free to feel free to um, post something in the comments. But I sat with a couple the other night. The mother reached out to me, and then I hop on a Zoom meeting. Well, I was meeting with the father
Mm,
of the child, and then she came on. She was cooking dinner. I have a 17-year-old son who's about to graduate high school. I said he just started working. He wants to find something that he can start saving money into, and he's going to college next year to be a mechanical engineer.
yeah,
So they're going to be saving $500 per month.
right on.
He's going to be putting a 30% of his paycheck from his job into it as well to help overfund it. And at 65 years old, he's going to have $1.8 million in tax-free retirement. That's going to generate about $124,000 per year for the rest of his life,
Mm,
tax-free.
mm,
All
it's
because
great.
they started while he was young.
Now let me ask you a
And
question. How is it tax free?
well, it's tax-free because we're taking loans from it. And loans
Mm,
in America are not taxable. So now, if they withdraw the money, it would then be taxable. But
got it.
there's three tax codes that govern life insurance, and this is why we love life insurance so much. So there's three tax codes. Write this down if you get your pen and paper out. Hopefully you do. The first tax code is Internal Revenue Code 72E. That
Mhm.
tax code states that you can put your money mark inside of life insurance income tax free. The next tax code is Internal Revenue Code 7702. Mark, it says you can access that money before you're 59 and a half years old, income tax free. And then the last tax code is what most people are familiar with. It's Internal Revenue Code 101A.
Mm,
Upon you passing away, you transfer that money to your beneficiaries, income tax free.
got it.
See, the problem, Mark, in America is 200 million people have no life insurance, but they have phone insurance, car insurance, homeowners insurance, renters insurance. They
I
even
hear
got insurance on their laptop and their jewelry and their phone, their TVs,
you.
but they don't have
Their
life
new,
insurance.
what's that new Apple, Pro that those
Apple,
goggles?
it's ridiculous, man. I was playing
$4,000.
VR the other day,
Crazy.
and I was playing like a baseball game with my kids, and I had to look at the picture, but I had no peripheral vision. So I'm holding it like a regular bat, looking, but I couldn't see the picture. So I literally
Yeah,
had to turn, like, it was the weirdest thing. I said, how are people ever going to be able to walk down the street wearing these things? No
right,
peripheral vision whatsoever.
right.
So, but yeah, I'm telling you, traditional financial strategies are what's keeping people broke. And if you want better, you got to do better. If you want to do better, then you got to get the right people in your life. And
Yeah,
that's what Mark and I we're striving to do that for each and every one of you. We wake up every day, say, who can we educate? Who can we serve? Who can we help get one step closer, move the needle forward in their life towards financial freedom? And I can't wait, Mark. We're about to launch our podcast again. We got about 21, 22 episodes into it last time, and then obviously some business things happen. But it's 2024.
I'm
It's
excited. That's
this is the year of divine alignment. Our campaign this year is the Great War,
yeah.
and we're coming for everything they said we couldn't have, right?
Mm,
And we want to there. Think about this. I truly believe that God's calling His soldiers.
mhm.
We're about to take this to a whole religious talk, from finances to religion, right? And
There
I'm
you
just
go.
playing, guys.
Hey,
But
let's do it.
I believe God's calling His soldiers because tyranny is slowly creeping into America. I can't even say slowly anymore. It's rapidly creeping into America, and America needs leaders. It needs strong men and women to stand up, to be bold and courageous, to plant their flag and say, "This is the way we're going." We're not going to succumb to whatever false pressure you're putting on us to do things that you want us to do if it's not in a biblical manner.
Mhm.
So, and the Bible talks a lot about finances. The book of Proverbs was written by the wealthiest man in the world,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So it's the book of wisdom, and we
Yeah.
have to be able to apply that to our daily lives. And one of my favorite books, Mark, is and I had my kids read it, was called The Richest Man in Babylon.
Yes.
And I
Love
read that book when I was like 12, 13, and I remember him saying that he always paid himself first
Yeah.
before he paid anybody else.
Mhm.
And that stuck with me as an adult too. So we got to teach people how money works and how money grows. Mark, what's your thoughts on the podcast and this year?
I'm so
2024
excited.
is going to be amazing.
Listen, I'm excited. Time is flying right now, right? It's already mid-February. I feel like in the blink of an eye, it's going to be December. Christmas is going to be upon us, right? We're going to be looking at 2025. I feel like, if we don't make the right choices now and be urgent every single day, and I say we as not just you and me, but our community, our I almost called it a congregation, right? The people around us, right? If we don't make it urgent, if we don't make every day urgent, and we don't take every account of every minute and every second, then we're going to let years go by without any changes taking place. We're going to still be in a poverty mindset. We're going to still let the chains of poverty keep us bound and hold us back from living the life that we truly desire. Now, like you said earlier, we can turn this into a church time, but listen, I believe God wants the best for his children.
That's
I
right.
believe he wants the best for his children. I believe he wants us to, to prosper and to live a healthy, whole life. That's what I believe his will is for our life. But he leaves it up to us to make the right choices. That's what free will is all about. We're not robots. So we have to make the right choices. And how do we make the right choices unless we surround ourselves with the right people, go to the right events? And what's the
Mm.
last one, coach?
Read the right books.
Read the right books. That's why we have a book of the month that we're reading. Every single month, we have a hand-picked, curated book of the month that helps with some type of self-development, business, strategy, finances, some type of mindset, because those are the things that are going to guide us into the path that we truly need to go towards to live our best life. I
That's right.
hate it when I see people comment on my post and they lack the knowledge and the know-how on how to get to the next step in their life, whether it's in a business or whether it's some type of financial strategy. They lack it. Coach, why do you think so many people are suffering in their financial life right now and just don't know how to get out of it? Why do you think that is?
I think it has a lot to do with identity. It's their current lifestyle, their current circumstances. They're allowing it to keep them down, and then they start going into this poverty mindset. Or I call it a middle class mindset, where they start making the excuses to justify why they don't have money.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have money because of this. I don't have money because of that. I can't become financially free because I have kids.
Mm.
Well, instead of saying, well, I can't because of, say, I can't, I have to because of.
I have to, I
Like I
must.
got 7 kids, you got 6 kids and a
Mhm.
grandbaby, and a lot of people say, "Hey, I can't start a part-time business on the side because I have 6 kids." You're like, "Well, that's why I have to start a part-time business."
Is that perspective? Is different perspective?
Perspective.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
I
that
have no
perspective could be
choice.
shaped.
We
Yeah,
have no
that
choice but to do it because we have that many kids, you know?
exactly. So there's no 9 to 5 job gonna pay me enough to be able to take care of my family and live a lifestyle that we know we deserve. So
That's true,
and
man.
then I would have to go and work 2 and 3 jobs, and then
Yeah.
I'm robbing my kids of a father. And then I'm
Right.
putting all the pressure of their mother to raise them. That's
Right.
not fair either. So what
Yeah.
better way is to become a business owner, learn a new skill set that's gonna help you elevate your mindset and elevate your finances.
Mm. Mm.
So that's why I'm fired up for the people that decide to be bold enough and courageous enough to say, you know what? I want to be that transitional character in my family that's
Mm.
going to change the lineage for future generations, guys, because I'm going to say yes to an opportunity. I don't know everything about it, but I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to put one foot in front of the other every single day. Teach me, coach.
And if you don't know what transitional character is, guys, we did a podcast episode on that. So go and check out on YouTube the Legacy Syndicate podcast. You can check it out on Spotify as well. Last season's episodes on transitional character. We'll probably do a round 2 of that. I'm fired up about the podcast, man. I'm excited that we're close. We're 8 minutes down the road from each other. We got some other key individuals in our life at this moment that we're going to bring on the show as well. We're going to do some interviews with some higher identity people, business owners, 7-figure earners. I think it's going to be really good. People are going to get a lot of value about it. And I think it's going to be one of those things where people are going to listen to it because of the amount of value that is given. It's not just going to be chatting, shooting the you know what, and just kind of hanging out. It's going to be dedicated to helping people achieve their best life, spiritually, financially, physically, family oriented. And I think it's going to be a very well-rounded podcast, but I'm looking forward to it, man. Very excited about what's to come. A little bit of a rough start in the beginning of the year, but that's okay. That's okay because it's there's some big plans in front of us, and
That's
a
right.
lot of different verticals as well. Not just finances, but there's some fires burning right now, if you know what I mean.
You know what? You can punch us in the mouth, but yeah, we're not gonna fold.
Yeah,
But that's all right. That's a topic for another day. I went ahead and put our the link to our Legacy Syndicate YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed, once to subscribe, our promise to you is that we're going to bring nonstop value to each and every one of you on a weekly basis, and then pretty soon it'll be a daily basis. And then we also want to educate you and bring value on things that you need value on. So we always ask for your input on topics that you would like to see, questions that you would like answered. That way, we're serving you guys. And it's all about leadership. And the only way to lead is to serve. So, Mark, I appreciate your time, brother, man. I appreciate your time on this Friday night. I know I'll be seeing you tomorrow, and then I'll see you on Sunday. Man, we're doing life together, man. I absolutely
that's
love
it.
that. We
That's
were
it.
at your house last night for praise and worship. Thank you for having us over.
Yeah.
It's just such an amazing time when we can get together and fellowship and
Yep.
break bread with one another as family.
I'll see
So
you at 7 a.m. at Mighty Men in Frisco.
that's right, Mighty Men in Frisco.
I'm not
That's
gonna miss
it.
it this time. I'll be there. I'll be there.
No, I'm glad I don't have to sit by myself. So that'll be good. And do some push-ups,
Uh,
leaning on you. But with that being said,
awesome.
guys, I appreciate each and every one of
Appreciate
you
you.
for taking time out of your Friday night to hop on here and get some value. You could be doing anything else, but you decided to hop on here and listen to these two guys just talk about life, man. Talk about finances. So we're so grateful for each and every one of you. We're gonna do a lot more of this. So let us know in the comments. What are some questions that you would want to answer about finances, about tax-free retirement, about life insurance, about family? Right? It's Mark. You've been married for how many years?
19, going on 20 in
19
September.
years.
Yep.
You think you can learn a little bit from this man about marriage, about what it means to be a husband? He's got 6 kids, a set of twins, a set of triplets. He's got a grandbaby as well. You can learn about fatherhood as well. And then me and my wife, we have 7 kids together. We're a blended family. So you can learn. I mean, we bring so much value to the table, guys, if you're willing to learn. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, appreciate you, Mark. I
Yep.
appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in. Until next time, good night. God bless everyone.
God bless. See you soon.